Hello, this is not a spring chicken. Some days, let's just say, there are good days and then there are bad days, whether you're president or not. Well, you know, even though President Obama declares that there is no inflation, I'd have to say, unfortunately, it's a really bad day for him, especially with the Pakistanis calling for, what is it, the World Court? And oh yeah, well, you're just going to have to wait for Oldecam's comments on the headlines of today. What's not going to go away?
It's not going to go away. The pundits, well, Pakistan has to come over us. No, they're being offered more from the Iranians to side with the Iranians. So they're going to kick the United States out, folks.
Oh, of Pakistan?
Yeah, and Pakistan already has nuclear weapons, and Iran wants nuclear weapons, so they can just give them enough money and put enough people in power. They got the nuclear weaponry from a Moslem country.
Oh,
yeah, and blame it on,
that's not good to piss off the Pakistanis, is it?
No, not because, okay, to put it this way, let's see, more than half the American people do not believe that bin Laden was killed. They think somebody was killed, but they don't believe bin Laden was killed. So, and the fact that like I said, a lot of people now believe bin Laden was dead for years. They got some picture, some old guy sitting in front of a TV set watching tapes of bin Laden. A lot of Muslims do that.
Well, what is so unusual about it?
And now supposedly he's been sitting in that place for 10 years, not 7 years.
Oh, it gets longer and longer?
Longer every time. He's been there since the place was built. And, you know, it looks very humble. I saw the building. There are 7 power boxes on the outside of that building, 7 of them.
Yeah, that's a humble abode.
Yeah, that's 7 different meters for the inside of the building, folks.
Wow.
Which means they're doing a lot of heavy-duty stuff in there. You know, it's probably a businessman running his business from there, but I mean, I hate to be the poor big tall guy that got killed. I mean, I'm also getting static from people. Well, this man deserved to be shot with his hands up because he didn't give other people a chance. Okay, we're going to try it this way. My father was headquarters for Patton in World War II. After the Battle of Bulge, some of the soldiers in Patton's division were basically going out and shooting prisoners. My father basically was in charge of being in front of Patton, which was very important because nobody got in front of Patton. What happened was Patton basically took all of the soldiers that were charged with shooting people and put them in my father's spot. Yeah, you know, they volunteered to go out in the front. They didn't come back. That's what Patton thought of going and shooting people with their hands up. Doesn't make any difference. I mean, if they do it, well, it makes it right because they did it. You know, people like Bill O'Reilly, Sean Hannity, I would ask John McCain if he thinks it's all right to do that sort of thing. Ask any prisoner of war if they think it's all right to do that stuff. Ask somebody that basically saw people being shot by other people that it's all right to do it. They're going to tell you no.
And Obama wants to borrow another $2 trillion to create jobs.
Well, actually, it's almost $3 trillion.
What?
He wants $3 trillion. He wants them to raise the debt ceiling by $2.9 trillion so that we can continue the recovery and create green jobs with this added revenue. And here's a good one, folks. I was listening this morning. They've had 5 straight quarters of growth at General Motors, and the stock price is still. Everybody that bought stock lost 30 cents on every dollar that they invested in General Motors. They asked a simple question this morning. Well, if the company is so profitable, why is the stock tanking every single week? And they said, well, because the company's not profitable in the United States.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's the difference. They're not selling cars here. They're selling them out of this country. Those ones that Obama doesn't like are being sold everywhere. So.
And Memphis landmarks spared from river flooding.
Yeah, because they're on the high ground. There's people, Memphis floods, folks. I know that Al Gore said, well, it's global warming. No, Memphis floods, New Orleans floods, Cairo, Illinois floods. All of these river communities flood. It's a historical record that when the El Nino hits, they flood. And it's, but they try to make it well. It's global warming. No, it's just normal weather.
And Schwarzenegger and Shriver announced separation.
I know, he's not governor of the state anymore.
I know. I wonder if they had a difference in politics while he was governor.
Well, no, he went to the left on the Republic. He was a liberal Republican, which meant he was a moderate Democrat.
Right.
And they could live with a moderate Democrat. The problem is, he no longer has a political future.
Oh.
So his future is over, so she just dumps him and goes back to being a Kennedy again, so. Isn't that something?
I know, and they've been married for so long.
25 years, and she gets rid of him just as soon as his political career is over. Because he can't run for president, he can't be vice president, they're not going to elect him to the Senate. So therefore, he has no political future, so he just goes back to making movies.
Do you think she'd run for office?
Well, no, she's just going to go be a Kennedy woman. Which means she's going to do all the public speaking stuff and raise money for the Democratic Party. So, but that makes the rest of the family happy now. You know, they got rid of that man and she gets the children, so, which means the Kennedys can have an influence. Means the Kennedys have a new generation that they possibly can, well, they can say, well, their father was the governor of California, so.
Oh, a new generation, so they can, for political aspirations?
That's right, because the younger Kennedys don't want to be politicians anymore. They're all quitting their jobs.
Oh.
Yeah.
And a majority of the people now are willing to support a third-party candidate.
Yep, and over 40% of the Democrats are. They said, what was it? They said only 46% of the people want Obama to even run for president again.
Are you serious?
And majority of the people, 40% of the Democrats do not want they just simply cannot support these people anymore, because the only reason Ron Paul is doing so well is because Ron Paul is the only one that they know will stick to the message, stop spending. It said that's all you got to do is stop spending. I mean, if you just stop spending, you can get government under control by stop spending, but they won't do it.
And Dr. Bin Laden corpse photos go viral and global.
Yeah.
Well, that happened right away.
I don't figure they're doctored. I figure they're the original pictures, not from a week ago, but from when he was killed in 2004, folks.
Oh, you think so?
Okay, the guy, let's put it this way. If that was Bin Laden, he sits there watching himself on camera, he's an egomaniac. And he stopped being on camera in 2004. That was right after a tall guy in a white outfit with a long beard was blown apart by a missile.
Oh, really?
But there wasn't enough parts of him. Remember they did an episode on JAG based upon
there wasn't enough parts to
There wasn't enough parts to be able to figure out. You can't do DNA if you can't find any parts.
Healthcare costs a hefty tag for the Pentagon.
Yeah, because they can't afford
there's a lot of
rising
people.
cost over there. So the costs keep rising, and the reason why, here's a good one. Bill O'Reilly, the reason why costs keep rising, Mr. O'Reilly, is because they keep developing new things to keep people alive and to treat them. Therefore, the cost rise. Well, they're just gouging the American public, Mr. O'Reilly. They aren't gouging the American public. They are the American public. What do you mean the American public? Your mother, your daddy, your grandparents, your unions, the teachers, they all own those companies, and they have the lowest profit margin of anybody in the country, of anybody in the country. Well, that's a bunch of BS, because we know they're raking in billions. No, they're not. It's mandated by law that almost all the money has to be returned.
And Yemeni security forces opened fire on protesters, killing 3.
Gosh, it's a Moslem dictatorship. It's a Moslem dictatorship. You could play it again. There's Bill O'Reilly. Well, we need to stamp out dictators. We cannot allow these dictators to do things. But Mr. O'Reilly, the dictators, they're the ones that are keeping control of the Middle East to keep it from blowing up. Well, we have to trust that the Muslim Brotherhood will not take over. They're taking over. Well, then to hell with them. That's Bill O'Reilly's thing. Just get rid of them. Just stop talking to those people.
And Microsoft to buy Skype for $7 billion.
Actually, it's up to $8.6 billion now. They raised it.
Oh, really?
8.6, and eBay wants to continue. Isn't eBay owned by somebody else now? YouTube or something? No, eBay's owned. eBay is owned by Amazon, isn't it? I think it's owned by Amazon.
I don't remember.
But it's got a major company owner, of which Microsoft is also part owner of. And Microsoft, basically, eBay wants to retain a minority ownership in the sale of the company. But it isn't going to happen. That's why they raised the buying price to almost $9 billion today.
Oh, for Skype?
They want to get rid of eBay's connection with Skype. So.
Oh, interesting. Samsung first quarter profit falls 30% on chips TVs.
Well, yeah, because no one's buying their okay, look for Samsung televisions in Best Buy. Look for them in Target. Look for
Aren't they
them
at Walmart?
in Walmart, but they're very few. They don't have the big ticket. They just they're not. They've got a zillion models. They're not being carried by anybody because, as they put it out, the unfortunately the market for HD TVs didn't go as well as they planned, and nobody is buying the bloody sets. The market has fell by like 30% this altogether. So they're 30% down. The market's fell.
Ah, and a Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Well, it used to be the general philosophy: if you keep doing what the public tells you not to do, you couldn't get reelected. Unfortunately, that philosophy no longer exists today because nobody cares what the public cares about.